Hey, hi, howdy. Oh yeah, this is Scats, man. What is up, my friend? How are you doing this evening? So this is test number 2 of a mode from one of the mentees from this year's Mentor Tournament, eclectic_sh. Pretty sure I linked him in the title. So definitely check him out. He is also running the seed along with Emok and I, so we're giving it a test. This mode is called Mountain Climber, and it is as follows. It is a standard 7/7 seed. You start with the Power Glove, the Hook Shot, the Hammer, and the Moon Pearl. So you have Dark World access right off the rip. The first iteration, actually, you started with Mitts, but we're going to test it out with just the glove. And I think there are a couple of gloves in the progression pool, because it's a little bit like Ludicrous Speed. There's extra of every progressive item. Pretty much 2 of everything except for flutes, of which there are 3. Which another change, it will be active on pickup this time as opposed to having to go activate it. What else? You start with 8 hearts, and there's no additional health, no heart pieces, no heart containers. So 8 hearts and that's it. There is no half magic, there is no red mail, there are no silver arrows. There are 6 swords in the mode. First time we did this, I think there were 5, and I only found 1. Like, I ended up on Master Sword somehow. Like, don't ask me how. Everybody else, I think, had Tempered, at least. So I missed one somewhere. What else? Alright, so standard 7/7. Start with Glove, Hookshot, Hammer, and Pearl. 8 hearts, with no opportunity for improvement. There's 6 swords in the pool. There's 3 flutes in the pool that will be active upon pickup. There's 2 of basically every other progressive item. There is no half magic, no red mail, no silvers. Items cannot self-lock. We ran into it the first time where there was a mirror up on Floating Island, which requires a mirror to get. So that apparently has been taken care of. There are no boots, so the boots checks are not required. However, in the pool there are 2 pick-upable pseudo boot items, which is interesting. I don't recall there ever being an option to pick up pseudo boots, but there's 2 of those, so we'll be able to at least dash eventually. And arguably the biggest thing, the dungeon entrances are shuffled amongst each other. Skull Woods, I think, is just shuffled among itself. And TR and Desert could be shuffled amongst each other. The rest of them will be shuffled as well, except for the stuff around the castle. So Agate Tower will be vanilla. Castle Tower will be vanilla due to the... Hyrule Castle will be vanilla due to the standard start. Whoop. Yeah, so the dungeon entrances are shuffled amongst each other. Except for the two castle entrances, or the two castle dungeons, I guess. Ganon is vanilla, but GT could be mixed. And TR and Desert can be shuffled, because they each have 4 entrances, they could be shuffled amongst themselves. So yeah, it should be interesting. There's been some pushback for the lack of boots. People don't like it. I don't really care that much. Didn't bother me when I did it before. But the pseudo boots will be interesting. That'll at least speed up movement a little bit, make some of the rooms a little bit easier. Yeah, I think we're just about ready to go. Ready up. Emok's ready. I think Eclectic is going to gate for us, so we'll be good to go. Yeah, here we go. So standard start, which is always fun. We have hammer, so it's really not a huge deal what we get. Red mail is for cowards. That's apt for this mode. Alright, what does Uncle give us? Bombs. Three checks, no progressive items. Come on. What are we doing here? What's up, Tracy? Thanks for popping in. How are you doing this evening? This mode is interesting. I think it's kind of fun. But we're testing it out. Eclectic is the one who set this mode up, kind of conceived it, created it. So Emok and I, along with Eclectic, are going to give it a quick test and see how it goes. This is test number 2. Eclectic tweaked some stuff after the first go around. We'll see how it goes. Mount Rush Seed, yeah, maybe. I mean, I think it's more of a Dungeon Rush Seed personally. Like, I don't know. I haven't figured out the meta for this yet. But with two of... Oh, how about Vanilla Boom? Oh, Baldur's Gate, nice. Gracie, nice. Solid choice. Very solid choice. Yeah, I mean, South Shore, I mean, there are 7 items just in the damn Mini Moldorm Cave, but with double copies of every progressive item, I almost feel like you should be rushing dungeons. I mean, maybe not. I mean, either that or I guess maybe just rush Death Mountain. That's probably not a bad play either. As you so eloquently put it, it's a Mount Rushmore seed. Bomb stun prize, that's pretty good. For the early game anyways. Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. It's just weird to not at least do CAC. Because there's, what, like 15 items in CAC? 5, 10, 12 anyways. Like, it might be worth it to do that and then rush the mountain. You can also go right into Thieves Town from there. It's just a swordless Thieves Town, potentially, which is, I mean, not the end of the world, but... Yeah, I mean, that's true. And you can see what Hera, what its entrance is. But yeah, there's definitely sword, beautiful. Yeah, like I said, I haven't really figured out the meta for this mode yet, but maybe we try some different stuff. It's a pretty good escape time. Sub 6 minutes. I do Lost Woods bottom. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot you can do, for sure. Yeah, pseudo boots are in the pool. There are 2 pseudo boot items. Which, to my knowledge, I don't know that... I've never seen a mode with pseudo boots in the pool itself. Usually I feel like you start with them. Forgot I didn't have a lamp. I was very confused for half a second. So there are no actual boots in the pool. It's just pseudo boots. The first time we ran it, we had no boots of any kind. And it's set up so that none of the boots checks are required. But Pseudo Boots was kind of brought up as a way to make the seed maybe go a little bit faster. But I really think Eclectic wanted to capture the idea. I don't think he wanted to make a boot seed because I feel like he thought there were a lot of boot seeds out there. I mean, I could be speaking out of school on that one, but alright, there's a flute. So we're gonna grab that now. Because that's active on pickup. And then we can just GTFO. Yeah, I like Pseudo Boots. I like having the option to go fast. So like if I do any kind of cross keys, I'll typically want to add Pseudo Boots. Gets the movement, but you still need to find the item. I think it's a pretty good quality of life upgrade for the randomizer. Yeah, I agree. Cross keys is hard enough. Adding Pseudo Boots gives it just a little bit of help without really changing the mode at all. Like I said, I think it's a very good quality of life upgrade for a lot of modes. Yeah, I mean, depending on where your starting locations are for cross keys, definitely it can be... Yeah, you kind of have an uphill battle from the start. Holy arrows, Batman. Alright, that's a Samaria cane. Up on Floating Island. That's mine. Alright. And it's a pendant. No thanks. Should do Spiral Cave first. And then I want to check out Dark Death Mountain, I think. You have bombs coming out of Sink, go Mountain, otherwise go Cack. I'd almost feel like it's the opposite. Well, I guess you need one bomb for the Mountain. But I almost feel like you'd want bombs to go into Cack. But what do I know? Like I said, I don't claim to understand the meta, this mode, any of that. Oh. You can buy them. Yeah, if you find money, I guess that's fair. That's fair. And there's 50-50 spots you can get bombs, I guess. Alright, can we open this, or is it Bombos? Oh, it's Quake. We can at least see what this is. It's Thieves Town. We can beat it. Yeah, I know. I guess it really doesn't matter. Desert. So TR is at Desert. Actually, I think I should have remembered that Desert and TR are mixed among themselves because they each have 4 entrances. This is also a pendant, but we can at least do a couple of checks. Oh, 1 check, I guess. At least. Oh, I should do a map check, too. In the Dark World first. No, it is not Boss Shuffle. No, that's fair. Not Boss Shuffle, so... The only thing that's mixed up is the dungeon entrances themselves. That's item number 2. Alright. Yeah, no Boss Shuffle, no Enemizer, just... The item pool is weird. The dungeon entrances are shuffled. So that brings you there. That's interesting. Alright, so Skullwoods is a 5/6. Pod. So Desert is the green pendant. And there's a red crystal in one of the Light World dungeons. Yeah, it's an interesting mode. I think it's worth a try. I say it's not for everybody, I don't think, and I feel like there's a decent amount of pushback on the boots aspect of it, but I don't hate it. Yeah, see, there's another Quake. One thing I might mention is potentially... Okay. Like, once you find the item, if you can set it up so where, like, the duplicate copies turn into, like, 5 rupees or something like that. I don't know how. It's probably a lot harder than it sounds, but... I might at least mention it. Like, there's got to be a way to code it, like with progressives, there's got to be a way to set it up where you can do that. Nice. I mean, ultimately really doesn't matter, I don't think, whether or not that's a thing, but... Just something that popped up. Just now, actually. So... Fire Rod Mirror and Samaria, we can beat TR. Oh, and the Big B. Depending on where that is. Oh yeah, we don't... Boots checks. It doesn't matter. I could have checked that off right now. I probably should just check this. Yeah. I should just blind check that, I think. I wonder if there's a way you can use Hookshot in here to make it a little bit easier. We're gonna fake Flipper here, if I can. There we go. So we can check this. We have the mitts. We can check what this entrance is. Which dungeon, I should say. There's a few we can beat now. Like Eastern. Of course, thanks. Realize that tracker wasn't up. Still not up. That's better. Now you can see all my checks. I think there's also a mode you can be a little more adventurous with your skips. Because there are duplicate copies of anything you would need. So, like, I don't feel that bad skipping the Eastern Big Key chest. I mean, it's still possible that that locks progression, like the other item of its kind could be like in a pendant dungeon that's locked behind the GT entrance, let's say. Nice. But the odds of that, I think, are relatively low. Low enough that I'm willing to risk it. Oh, there is an item there, so that's exciting. Oh wait, I have them here. I just don't have the flips. You know, why not? Nice. All right. Would love to find a fire rod. Oh, it's Bombo Seconds. Never mind that. We can do some damage in TR. I actually wouldn't hate finding the big key. And then once we find a fire rod, it's beatable. So let's check it out. Oh, well. How about that? Alright. So this should bring us at the Laser Eye entrance, I believe. Oh, I just thought of something here. TR Big Chest is, like, next to impossible to get to. Because if it is at Desert Right, you can't get there. So if there, I mean, it's probably, like I said, it's probably not a big deal, but that didn't come up in the last seed we ran. Because TR was a pendant, and it was in its vanilla location. So it didn't really matter. Yeah, I think that had to be a small key. I guess it didn't have to be, but I was kind of hoping it was. Okay, I don't have the boots. I'm kind of daft. I don't have boots. Alright, there's our big key. We have no safety, so Death Warp might be a thing here. Actually, let's just mirror. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Hold on. Be smart about this. I can just do this. This should spit me out on Laser Bridge. That brings, okay. Good to know. So the Laser Bridge is at the right side, which means you can't get there. All right, that's fine. That actually works out better. I like that, actually. Nice. That's fine. We should start, yeah. Perfectly fine. Honestly, I think placing the block might be the hardest part about that whole room. They might take a couple of hits. Oh, I messed up. I messed up. I messed up. Alright, well. This is going to be a fun time. Just this. Get some health back. Alright, that is the only armor that we will get. Well, I guess we could get a second copy, but... What door didn't we open? Oh, yeah, that's right. Is that over far enough? Might not be. That was. Alright. Yeah, gold sword, this is easy. Even on, what, 5, 6 hearts? Easy. Alright, 2 down. Skull Woods is beatable. And it's crystal, so we can check that out. And Village of Outcasts. All that fun stuff. I guess it might technically be possible to not need Fire Rod for Skull Woods, depending on where the entrances end up being. I guess we'll see. Oh. Not the ice rod. Okay. I didn't realize that was possible. That's kind of cool, actually. So that's Thieves' Town. I thought that had to be a Skull Woods dungeon. So I guess the front 3 entrances wrap amongst themselves, kind of like... Cross Keys. The non-Zelga Woods version of Cross Keys, I guess. So I guess it is possible to not... Possible to not need Fire Rod for Skull Woods. But you need Fire Rod for another dungeon entrance. Alright, that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't hate that at all. So I think it's a pretty safe bet that Pod has to be at GT. Is this the only pendant dungeon that we haven't seen? We can't have a crystal dungeon behind GT, which needs 7 crystals to open. So we're probably not going into Pod. Actually, I can almost guarantee we're not going into Pod. So what entrances do we need? Hera, Swamp, and Ice. Second bow, which does not give you silvers. Way to be off script. That was a little hairy, but we got through it. Item? No. Oh, we grabbed the items. Whoops. Hera Swamp. Oh, Skullwoods. We need the Skullwoods back entrance. So 4 dungeons. We have what? Thieves, Eastern Pod, and Swamp to go into. Item-wise, we still need... I think it's just flippers. Oh, we have Mire as well, but we can't get into it yet. That's Hera. Hey, there you go. That's how you do it. You got a 2 out of 3 chance that the last item is up here. We got a 50-50 chance that the last item is up here on the boss. but I think it's just flippers and bombos are what we need. Alright, second item. So we're not coming back here, that's good. It's the second male upgrade. Nice. So now I think I just want to check dungeon entrances. I guess we can do Hype Cave and then into Swamp entrance, see what that is. As long as it's not Swamp, we can beat it. It's either got to be Swamp, Ice, or Skull, by my reckoning. Okay, and now we can beat everything. A third bow? I wonder if there are 4 bows because bow and silvers are separate items. I wonder if that's why. It's GT. Alright. So, GT. We'll do a couple of checks here. Also, I should probably just do Hope Room. Alright, so we definitely need bombos. I forgot GT was shuffled. Which means that Eastern and Pod are both clearable dungeons, and Mire, which requires bombos to get in, is the last one. So we can clear these 2 dungeons, and we're just looking for one of the bombos medallions. Nice. Very nice. Tell you what, we are probably skipping left side. At least for now. Two items in the first two checks. Feel good about going to the back. So eastern entrance is either Skullwoods or Ice. And Mire is the other one. Oh my god! There's at least one item over there. On left side. Right, just give me bombos, come on. Just in case I have to come back. I really don't want to have to come back. Another mitts. Okay. Either Eastern or Hera was one of our 5-6. Whatever, we'll say it's Eastern. I have no idea. I guess it doesn't really matter. So do we have 2 check Skullwoods, or do we have 3 check Ice? 3 check Ice. Gotta be a little careful with magic here. Let's do this. Nice. Wonder what those 20s are. Like, I wonder if those 20s are pseudo boots. I really don't want to mess up. Okay. I hope I have enough magic for the boss. That's... okay. Should be okay. Okay. Still gonna try to buy a rod dupe, but at least this way here I at least have a full magic bar that I can use. Alright, we did it. Alright. Never a doubt. Alright, so... we need... we need to find Bombos, and we've skipped a whole bunch of shit. I have not done Ice Rod Cave yet. Flippers checks, and then we'll figure something out. Oh yeah, let's go. I'm filling them up, because why not? Magic powder? Oh. We know it's not there. We know it's not there. Actually. Now let's do this. There are still 2 items in Skull Woods. This should be the front, like the big chest. Yeah, alright. Alright, so there's an item in Skull Woods which is at... oh, should I do GT? I wonder if GT could be the answer. I don't have the card to go into GT. what was here? Oh, it was Hera. Right? It was Hera. Yeah, Tower of Hera. We got the items out of there, so we don't need to worry about that. I guess I will go in. I'll do the Smith chain and then go into GT from there, I guess. And dungeon-wise, it's left side swamp, it's mire. It's eastern, big key chest. Pseudo boots. Nice. That'll actually make the rest of the Smith chain a little bit easier. Just a little bit, not a lot. Nice. Alright, let's see if this book pays off. Vanilla Bombos. Oh. Lovely. Okay. Why am I grabbing magic pots like that? I have 4 blue potions. I have no idea if Bombos can even be here. I feel like since you can beat it without getting into the dungeon that you need, it could be. Wait, I have pseudo boots. Use them. Oh, that works. Wasn't what I was trying to do, but that works. Well, I guess it was what I was trying to do. I just didn't realize that you could do it with pseudo boots. I forgot. Oof, I was... Also wasn't sure I could do that. Alright, there it is. I guess we can climb and then just go to Mire area from there. And then we can just save and quit from... Where are we going to be? Mire, right? We're going to be at the Mire area, so we can save and quit from there and go right to the castle. Right to Ganon. So I guess that works. Oh, lamp. Very interesting. messy. A little lucky there, but we'll take it. So in theory, we're probably like 10 minutes away from beating this seed. We gotta do this with Fire Rod. Okay. Oh, never punished picking up that key, huh? Damn. Lamp? Not that I really need lamp, I guess. Whatever, I'm not gonna look. Oh, there's what? 2 more checks is here, and then there's Moth. 138 checks is where we'll end up. That's not bad. I think those first 2 hit at the same time. And then I pushed him back into... Oh. Okay. We just need to beat... We need to go to Mire to beat Skullwoods, and then back to... here. Boots. So the other set of items... The other boots were on the pyramid ledge. We could have had those. I wonder if the other Bombos was in, like, Odd or something, that it was locked behind. It was locked behind itself, essentially. I don't know, I mean... I know Eclectic worked to make sure that, like, items can't lock themselves, but that's, like, locked behind itself in, like, 2 or 3 tiers of logic. So I don't know that he would have thought about that. There it is. Alright, last check. Is it the lamp? No. Alright, save and quit, and then right to... Actually, is it going to... Because I haven't beaten Aga 1 yet, it might not. No, it doesn't. Alright, let's get it. Missed it. Alright. Alright. Oh, crap. Alright. It's fine, I just want to make sure I got the torch glitch, and we did. Two, three, four. Five. 6, 7, alright. Could be 2 more hits. Oh, Emok just finished. Oh, that sucks. He sniped me by like 20 seconds. GG's. That should be like 25 seconds, I think. Yeah, 21 seconds. That was fun. That was fun. Thanks for the GGs, Tracy. Appreciate it. We can't speed these up. All right. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. I would be interested to know where the other Bombos was. Namely, is it in Pod? I don't know if there is a spoiler Emok with the sub, tier 1. Thank you, my friend. GG's to you as well. So what was your go mode item? I'm guessing it was one of two things. I'm guessing it was either Bombos or Fire Rod. Fire on a desert. Yeah, I mean, I got it relatively. Actually, no, I got it relatively early, actually. Because I had already gotten Mitts and Mirror at that point, and Flute, so I was checking everything over there. I was like, I'll check. Maybe we'll get the Fire Rod, like, in somewhere in TR or something, and no, it was on the ledge. So I was able to beat TR pretty early. But my go mode was Bombos. I ended up finding it in Bob's chest. Did I find blue boots? Yeah, I got boots on the Smith, and then I think I saw a pair of boots on the Pyramid Ledge. Yeah, I went into GT and I only checked Hope Room and then I left. Because at the time, I don't think I had Samaria. I could have gone to Bob's chest, I guess, and gotten it, but I was like, I don't really want to go in there. I wanted to check what the other dungeon entrances were. I probably should have just checked it since it was so many checks, but did full left and left. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's honestly probably the right play in this mode. I thought, looking in the race room, I thought Pyramid Ledge was boots. They looked red to me when I checked them, but yeah, it looked like they're saying Pyramid Ledge was boots. Yeah, the only question I had was where was the second Bombos? Like, is it possible that it was in Pod? Because that would have been Pod had to be at the GT entrance, which was locked behind 7 crystals. Which means that you weren't able to get the second copy of Bombos without getting the first copy of Bombos, which means it would have been locked behind itself. But that's kind of like a couple of steps into the logic. I don't know if it would have been accounted for. You didn't find any items in Thieves Town? What do you mean you didn't find any items in Thieves Town? Oh, like any progressive items, you mean? Yeah, I also skipped, I skipped Left Side Swamp. I mean, I skipped Left Side Swamp. I never did Desert Back. I never turned in Green Pendant. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I did Thieves early. Well, relatively early. Desert Ledge was Fire Rod, yeah. Oh, Tile Room had the other Fire Rod? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, the only thing I'm wondering, Eclectic, is where, I don't know if you have a spoiler, but where was the other Bombos? I just wonder if, like, if the other Bombos was in Pod, it would have been locked behind itself. And I know, like, the mirror can't be locked behind the mirror, but I don't know if if you would have been programmed to have a couple of steps out like that. Because Pod was locked behind 7 crystals, and one of the crystals required Bombos to get. It's a very niche situation, but I feel like that's what this testing is for, is to try to get rid of any of that. 128 CR, I was 139. Misery Mire, but okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, so I didn't really have any issues. One other thing, I was thinking about it kind of mid-seed, and I don't even know if this is either A, possible, or B, worth it. But like the duplicate copies of the progressive items, like, is there any way to make it like rupees or something? I mean, it doesn't ultimately matter either way, I don't think, but like getting 3 flutes, or like I saw a couple of green 20s that I think might have been swords. But I don't know if that's a thing that you can program. I'm not a programmer by any means. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can code it as like a progressive item and have it like once you hit a certain point just default. I know, like, I've seen some modes do it, but I don't know how complex it would be to change it. It's just something I was thinking of. I mean, I like the mode. I need to figure out what the best way to do it is. But even if it's like 5 rupees or something, just, I don't know. Just something I was thinking of. Not a huge deal. If it's a big deal, I don't think it needs to happen. But other than that, I kind of like it. Tried skipping Lost Woods after and just went south to north, Cacred into Thieves. Yeah, I ended up. I think I went right. I think I went right up to Death Mountain. Actually, like that was the first thing I did after coming out of Escape. Yeah, I wasn't sure where I was in the race. Like because I was just I Bombos was like go mode. I had everything else pretty. I mean, I wouldn't say pretty early, but relatively early. Like, yeah, I never found a lamp either. Yeah, nah, no lamp for me. GT and Agina. Oh, I never checked Agina. I was in. I finished TR and I was like, oh, I need to make sure I check Agina. And then I was in TR when I said that, and I finished it and just left. I think I went to do other dungeon entrances or something. That's funny. That's really funny. Like, free lamp, and I just don't get it. Nemok apparently didn't get it either. That is awesome. Yeah, I was trying to prioritize dungeon entrances. Like I fake flippered to get to Ice Palace, which was Eastern. So I beat that pretty early. I meant to pair it with checkerboard, and I did checkerboard first, and I was like, oh, when I leave TR, I'll go check it, and just completely spaced on it. I did a couple of checks at the top of GT looking for it just in case, but not a big deal. Flute position shuffle. I mean, yeah, I mean that could work. That could work. Make it a little bit tougher, where you do get the active flute on pickup. It could make it a little bit tougher. That could be something. I never played a mode with the flute spot swaps though, like the randomized flute spots. Be interesting. Definitely be interesting. Yeah, my only real note was the like extra copies of Progressive that they could change to rupees or something, but outside of that, I kind of liked it. I thought it was good. You were sad the myths were so early. Yeah, I forget where they were. Somewhere on Death Mountain, I think. Oh, it was Escape. I knew they were early. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The other myths I want to say were on Argus, maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, Swamp Boss. Okay. All right. So my mind's not completely gone. Only like a little bit gone. But no, this was fun. This was fun. I think starting with the glove is a good thing. I think all the changes implemented were good. Not really sure what else to change. The flute spot swap is interesting. Yeah, the thieves behind Skullwoods. I, for some reason, just thought that all four Skullwoods entrances were swapped among themselves. I didn't realize that the back of Skullwoods would have been a different dungeon. Oh yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why, because it was vanilla. Because I was like, oh, like it's either like it could be vanilla or it could be the middle entrance, and then Thieves Town popped up, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And the other thing that was good was I thought that the as I'm going through TR, I was thinking like, wait a minute, if this is set up like how I think it is, that the big chest would be on Desert Right, which is impossible to get to. And then when I went and saw that the Desert North entrance was the big chest, I was like, oh, thank God. You just can't get to Laser Bridge the back way, which is kind of good. I didn't realize this is the only time I'd done the simple dungeons shuffle, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was a little worried that the TR big chest was going to be inaccessible, but it was not. So I like it. I wonder what the desert situation is, because the desert, the right exit is at the laser bridge exit. That's how TR works there always. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it makes sense because that way everything's accessible. Desert right does lead to the single exit. So I'm guessing desert left leads to the left hand, like TR west, and then you walk over and get to the boss on the right side. Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. That's kind of how it is in desert, which makes total sense. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was good. Very enjoyable. Would do again, despite some of the pushback from some of the community about the boots, pseudo boot thing. Some people are just like boots or nothing. I think there's a place for both. Like you could experiment with just starting with pseudo boots. That could be an option maybe, but I don't think you need to. Yeah, that makes sense. It's all the stuff with four exits or four entrances. That makes total sense. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for setting it up and letting us play around with it. I like I said, I think it was pretty good. I don't know that I would change too much though. I think for what you're doing, I think this is in a pretty good spot personally. Yeah, that'll do it for me. I will try to do the Kaz boots tomorrow. I should be free enough on Wednesdays after this week to do it, but at least for a little while. But I don't know that I'll be able to do it tomorrow. I'll try, but I don't know that I'll be home before like 8:30. Yeah, the dungeon shuffle. It's not a huge it's not a huge thing, but it is it adds just the right amount, I think, of complexity that it's not. It's like a very good way to get into learning about entrance shuffle, which is good. Yeah, you have. I think you have till this weekend to do the qualifier, and at this point, you could probably stream it. I mean, you could stream it anyways. You just have to put a bunch of like spoiler tags in the title, so anybody who hasn't done it doesn't end up watching it. But I would suggest just run it offline. You don't have to worry about looking at chat or anything like that. Oh, good on you. Good on you. Hopefully the interviews are going well. I mean, you said they're going well. Hopefully something comes of it. All right, that'll do it for me. I might get on tomorrow. Worst case, maybe I'll do that mystery seed that Zach rolled for Bagels Discord. Maybe I'll do that. I still haven't done that yet. And then Thursday, I might be doing a Kaz Boots 1v1 versus with John. TBD on that. But GG's Emoc, GG's Eclectic. Again, thank you for setting this up. Thanks for letting us play around. Oh god, now I'm like borderline worried about that mystery seed. But I'll try to do it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow night. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the day and we'll see what the evening brings. All right, I'm out skis. Have a good night, y'all, and I will talk to you later.